Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So this is going to be a real short video, but I thought that this is pretty important to put out there for people that may not know that they can still get beef, especially beef, because beef to me seems like it was going up in price the most. I'm not sure if it's because of where I live or it may be different where you live, but here it seems that beef is going up in price pretty good. So the point of this video is that you can still get beef, red meat, at pretty decent prices. You just have to know where to look for them. And just like I built a relationship with my coin shop owner, where I get my precious metals, I've also built a relationship with the butcher that works at the commissary, since that's where I get most of my beef, and most of my meat, period. So what I do is whenever I go to the commissary, first of all, the two butchers that work there, they already know me. So if they see me, they'll approach me and automatically tell me, hey, I got this on sale, I got that on sale, or hey, go take a look at the freezer, because the clearance freezer, because we just put a whole bunch of stuff out there that's good. So wherever it is that you go shopping the most, or whatever multiple places you may want to do this, build a relationship with the butchers that work there, if those places have butchers. And get to, asking them questions about the meat that they have, ask them if they have anything on sale, ask them if they put anything on clearance, what day of the week or what day of the month is the day, that they usually put things out on clearance. This just happens to be some meat that I got from the clearance freezer at the commissary. And what they do is they go ahead and take whatever meat is starting to get close to their date that's in the fresh section of the commissary, and then they flash freeze it, and then they put it in the clearance freezer in the commissary. And a lot of times when I walk in there and they see me, they'll tell me, hey, we just put a whole bunch of meat in the freezer. So what I do is every time that I go to the commissary, if I don't see one of the butchers hanging out there, I'll go to that freezer and I'll check and see what they have. And now what I do with this meat mainly is I save it until I've gotten enough put away in my freezer that I can a batch of quarts. So I try to gather up at least 15 pounds of meat. 7 quarts usually come out to about 14, a little bit over 14 pounds. But then once I trim it out a little bit, if there's any trimming to do, it usually brings it down a little bit. So you should be able to fill 7-quart jars with about 14 and a half, 15 pounds of meat that you buy. So what I do is slow and steady wins the race, ladies and gentlemen. I don't go over there and just take whatever they have, because some of the meats that they have there, to me, they don't look like they're good enough for me to buy. So I take a look at things that look good, and I'm just going to show you an example of 3 packages of meat that I got that total roughly 7 or 8 pounds, and we'll add it up here real quick. But you're going to see what a big difference in price it went down to. So if you take a look at this one right here is 1.5 pounds of tri-tip, all right, of choice tri-tip steak. And it still looks really good if you take a look at it. Now, this meat was out in the fresh aisle. If you take a look right there, it says sell by the 14th of January. So what they do is like the day of the 14th of January, they'll take this meat off the fresh aisle and then they'll flash freeze it and put it in the freezer. So this meat was originally $4.98 a pound. And after they discounted it, it went down to $3.49 a pound. You see that? So it's a savings of, let me see, it went from $7.47 for this 1.5 pound of meat to $5.20. So I'm saving $2.27 off this piece of meat. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're not experienced with pressure canning, when you pressure can this meat, you will never ever be able to tell whether the meat that you pressure canned was a reduced meat like this or a fresh meat. I rather use this because it comes out just as good and you're saving a lot of money. So just in this packet alone, I saved $2.20. Same thing with this one. These are actually all pretty much the same prices. Maybe a little bit more on some, but take a look at this one. This one right here is a little over 1.5 pounds of meat. It's the same kind, choice tri-tip steak. And as you can see, it looks really good. It still looks like it's really good. It doesn't look like it's really brown or anything like that. It still has its color. And originally, this one was $5.90 a pound. And I got it for $4.13 a pound. So it went from $9.32 a pound to $6.53. Now that's just shy of $3. So far I've saved about $5 off of these 2 packs. And then let's take a look at the other one. This one over here is, I'm going to call it a 3-pound piece of meat. And it's the same thing. Choice tri-tip roast. This is a roast, but it's the same kind of meat. And if you see right here, it originally was $5.90 a pound. And now it's $4.13 a pound. So it was originally $17.52. And now it's only $12.22. So that's a savings of more than $5 off of this. So far, just off of these 3 packs of meat that you see here, I saved about $10 of what I would have paid for this same meat if I would have just bought it off the fresh rack. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this, ladies and gentlemen. I bought some of this meat the other day, probably about a week ago or so. I bought probably about 5 pounds worth, like 3 packets. And I made a brown gravy stew with that meat in the Instapot. And it came out outstanding. It came out really, really good. Okay, so you can get this just for eating at home if you're looking for deals. It doesn't just have to be for canning. So altogether, we got 3 pounds and 3 pounds. I got 6 pounds of meat here that I got at a discount. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to put it in my freezer, and I'm going to keep adding to this until I have about 15 pounds, maybe 16 pounds. And then once I have about 15, 16 pounds built up in my freezer, I'll take it out, I'll thaw it, and then I'll go ahead and pressure can it and then put it away for long-term storage. This is a real simple, easy, and efficient way of being able to prep proteins for long-term. All right? And it sure as heck beats buying the freeze-dried protein. As long as you rotate these, ladies and gentlemen, as long as you rotate your pressure can meats, you're going to be all right. I personally think that a jar of pressure can meat will last more than 1 decade. Now, I can't say that for sure from my personal experience. The oldest jarred meat that I've eaten was, I think, roughly 6 years old, and it was absolutely fine. So this is the way for you to go if you're on a budget, all right, and if you eat meat and you don't want to spend the extravagant amount of money that it costs to buy the freeze-dried meats. All right. Now, I know that there's people out there that may have freeze dryers and things like that they can afford it. But this here is a budget item. It's a way that you can budget protein into your preps if you don't have a lot of money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say about this video, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to make it too long because it's just a quick tip, but I think that it is a very effective way for you to be able to prep on proteins. And this doesn't have to be the only thing that you prep. Talk to your butcher. Make sure that you build a relationship with your butcher. That way, when they see you, they'll think right away if there's anything that they have that would suit your needs. You don't have to tell them you're a prepper. All you have to do is just go in there and talk to them, introduce yourselves to them, and be friendly with them, and they're going to take care of you. Trust me, butchers want to get rid of whatever excess meat they have in the store. When I was talking to the butcher the other day, the one that I deal with most of the times, he was trying to push those turkeys on me. They still have turkeys on sale at the commissary for like 48 cents a pound or something like that. And they're giving you a $5 coupon if you buy $20 worth. So they're trying to get rid of those, but I'm just all turkeyed out. I may end up buying those and just bringing them to the food bank just so I can get them cheap off of them and give it to the food bank as a charity so that they don't eventually go to waste. But they still have a long time left on their shelf life or on their best buy date in that freezer for me to wait another couple of weeks and allow someone else to buy them that may want them, that lives on base. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something out of this video. Like I said, I think it's very important that we find ways to prep our protein on the cheap with prices of meat going up the way that they have been. If you guys have any ideas on how we can store protein on the cheap, right? If we don't have a freeze dryer and if we don't have animals that we're raising right now and we don't want to buy those freeze dried meats that they sell at the long-term food storage companies, I'm not knocking those down. I'm just saying that they're kind of expensive. And I'm sure that most of you would agree with me that they're kind of expensive. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments and then we can all benefit from them. Having said that, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. First day back to work for me, and it was work. So remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.